everyone please stand to receive our guests for the evening, our honorees and the Board of Advisory. Smile, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance, and please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for our national anthem presented by Danielle Hoffman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Danielle. Everyone, please be seated. Now, please join me in welcoming Commissioner Allison Coppy.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to Brookhaven Town's 33rd Annual Women's Recognition Awards. On behalf of Supervisor Ed Romaine and the entire board, it is truly an honor and a privilege to be a part of this outstanding event. This is just so amazing. These women have done so much for their communities. I'm just truly blessed to be up here. Our community groups, our businesses, our individuals nominated these women because they've seen the benefit of their service. This year, the supervisor and the board members also nominated a woman who resides in the town to receive a special commendation for their outstanding service. The bottom line is our communities are better off because of these women we are recognizing tonight. They understand the importance of giving back, thinking outside of themselves, understanding that we rise as a community by lifting those around us. I'd also like to thank our Director of Women's Services, Sharon Boyd, for her tireless work to provide this so meaningful service to women throughout Brookhaven Town. And of course, our Women's Advisory Board for their volunteer service to the town. I also want to thank Supervisor Romaine and the entire board for their tremendous support for this excellent service that the town provides to these women. A special thank you to Dan Lasquadro, our Superintendent of Highways, for the donation of the flowers, the Patchogue Medford Color Guard of the New York 93 Air Force ROTC, the William Floyd School District String Quartet, I mean, they were amazing, and 7-Eleven for the refreshments. So, ladies, tonight, it's all about you. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I would just like to thank, well, first of all, I want to acknowledge Assemblyman Joe DiStefano. Joe, I know you're here. Thank you, Joe. And some of our elected officials were able to do some proclamations. So I'd like to thank Senator John Flanagan, Senator Monica Martinez, Assemblyman Andrew Garbarino, Suffolk County Clerk Judy Pascal, Suffolk County Comptroller John Kennedy, Suffolk County Legislator Rudy Sunderman, and Suffolk County Police Geraldine Hart. I understand she is here. Geraldine? There you are. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, so before we get started, I'd just like to introduce the Housing and Human Services Liaison, Mike Lagercio.
Well, thank you, everyone, and good evening. I'll be very brief because we want to celebrate these ladies and their accomplishments. But I want to thank you for all being here because what they have done is they've all been a part of our community. They've all been a part of our town. And they have just contributed a tremendous amount both to their community and also to the entire town. So on behalf of the entire town board, congratulations, ladies, and thank you for what it is that you do.
Sharon, you want to come up here? We're going to get the board members to start announcing.
Oh, yes. Supervisor, would you please come up? Supervisor Romaine, we are going to do the proclamation, the Edward Gerard proclamation. Okay.
And before we do that, I'd like to turn around and acknowledge the leaders of Brookhaven behind us. We have a police commissioner, a surrogate court judge, head of Girl Scouts, several civic leaders, several business leaders, several youth leaders, such as Dr. Carter, and a whole host of other people. These are the leaders that make Brookhaven a great town. And I would be absolutely remiss if I did not talk about women's services. Women's Services was founded by a very dear friend of mine who has since passed, Edna Gerard, in 1985. A tremendous woman. Her husband, by the way, a councilman for 24 years, is still alive. He's living upstate with his daughter. And she had the vision of putting services for women so that they would have the advantages in this society that others have. She did a great job. And I just want to mention a couple things. The helpline that Sharon runs receives 3,000 calls a year. We have partnered with over 300 agencies throughout the year, both business and social. We have a domestic violence group, a women's support group, a divorce information class, debt counseling corporation, on-site debt counseling, and monthly New York State small business counseling. Every year we run an expo, usually in September, October, a women's expo. We offer Career Edge, which is an employment readiness program, and we have an 84% hire rate for those who participate. We have a Going Places Network sponsored by Coca-Cola, which is our second job readiness program for women. We have over 5,000 volunteer hours that we receive every year from women who help us with these programs, and our most successful program, Dress for Success, which help women get back on their feet. Again, I go back to my friend Edna Gerard and her vision. And she founded the department 35 years ago, and here we are 34 years ago. In 33 years, this is our 33rd recognition night. But look behind me. Those are the people that make Brookhaven the special place it is. I am pleased to be here, and I'm going to turn it over to Sharon, but before I did, I want to mention that Diana Becker is the winner of the Excelsior Award named for Edna Gerard. Unfortunately, she's sick. I know what that feels like. You can tell I still have a little bit of a cold, and I wish her well and recovery, but I'm going to turn it over to Sharon at this point.
Thank you, everyone. The Edna Gerard Award, this is excellence in our job program. So these ladies go through the program, a 6-week program, and they really have just far exceeded. This is Diana Becker. She has far exceeded her job with the program, and she's gotten a job. She's now going to school for a master's degree. She is not here right now. She is ill. So I accept this award for Diana, and I thank you for that.
And I want to thank all women who participate in Career Edge and Going Places, because those are the women that are stepping forward to change their life for the better. And we're happy to provide the programs to help them.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to start our program. Wendy, come on up.
First of all, let me say, hello, sisters, all of you, and congratulations for all the beautiful and wonderful things you do for the community. I get the pleasure of introducing the recipient for the Arts Awards. It's so close to my heart because I do love the arts, and I know how impactful it can be for the community, for the children. So this honoree was really, really hard to condense because she has done so much. My question to her was, how did you do all of this? How did you get all of this done? And her response was, I just lived. I just took it, I ran with it, I lived it, and I just evolved in it. And from everything that I've seen, it's just been nothing short of amazing. So it's my honor to present the 2019 Women's Recognitions Arts Award to Angela Raymond. Since an early Since an early age, Angela has always had the proclivity towards the arts. It has given her freedom to express her creative nature and activated an extraordinary passion for culture, which has gifted her a vast knowledge in multiple areas, some of which include acting, writing, dance, producing, and as current, a Shakespeare instructor at the Laurel Hill School and director of education for the newly constructed Argyle Theater in Babylon. Angela continues being fruitful in her career as she uses her platform to augment the arts circulum in order to benefit the children and community of Patchogue, Medford. With her progressive ideas and creative incentives of a holistic, synergistic, environmental approach that shifts the paradigm. She has the zeal for making the world a colorful place. And she's never afraid to color outside the lines. So I present to you the wonderful, the inspiring, the amazing, the awesome, the empowering Angela Raymond. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. You are so amazing. This is for you too.
Thank you.
All right.
As I look out into the audience this evening, I can see that all of you have a story. What did you overcome? Who changed your life? What hurt you? What inspired you? What scared you? What moves you? Where have you been? These are the stories as a director, an acting teacher, and an actor that I like to tell. Stories of the human condition, because not all heroes wear capes. The thing about acting, if you're doing it right, is it requires you to be totally present in 3 ways: physically, mentally, and emotionally. For example, a character on stage could be playing chess with his enemy while having an argument. What he's doing, thinking, and feeling simultaneously is a term we call psychophysiology. Acting makes your body, mind, and spirit completely activated. And this is why acting is a holistic experience for many people to do and to watch. In this world of disconnect, of cell phones and social media, it's the arts and community that help connect us to humanity. The arts also has the power to change the energy of a space. For scientific purposes, I need all of you to do something for me. For about 10 seconds, I need you to sing Frank Sinatra's New York, New York, okay? And I need you all to sing it very, very loudly and enthusiastically. And remember, this is for scientific purposes. So, okay, here we go. The lyrics are, start spreading the news. I'm leaving today, I want to be a part of it, New York, New York. Okay, ready? Yeah? Remember, loud and enthusiastically. Here we go, ready? Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. Put a little sway into it. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. Thank you. See, we just changed the energy of this space. Like Wendy so kindly said, I've been an acting teacher for 19 years, an actor for 35 years, a playwright for 3 years, and I've taught master classes in classical and contemporary acting to children and adults at colleges, theaters, private schools on Long Island, in New York City, and in the Hamptons. Directed over 200 shows, acted in dozens of plays, written 3 one-act plays, a children's book, and now I'm working on a historical fiction play. I've done theatrical consulting, worked in the special events department for the Tribeca Film Festival, Hamptons International Film Festival, New York Film Festival at Lincoln Center, and been nominated for a Tony Award for Excellence in Theater Education. Currently, I've teamed up with Dr. Hines, the progressive superintendent over at the Patchogue Medford School District. And next year, it's my intention to make Patchogue the most sought-after arts district on Long Island through art immersion curriculum, rock bands, instead of traditional bands, artists in residence, home-like classrooms, art studios and installations, greenhouses, and the greenhouse was already ordered for the high school, and parent artist residencies with childcare and meals provided, and a student circus. Later this year and next year, I'll be creating an acting program from the ground up for the Patchogue Theater. But all of this stuff only matters if I'm having a positive impact on someone's life, because I'm an arts activist. I want to teach people that need the arts. Give me the oysters. I want the 75-year-old from the senior center to take a class and feel heard again. I want the class clown failing all of his classes and driving his math teacher crazy to learn Shakespeare with me. I want the self-conscious teenage girl that's afraid to be funny. I want the veteran suffering from PTSD or the foster kid that feels lost and alone. Because you see, the thing about oysters is they take the grit and they make a pearl. I guess I'll take the professionals too, that need help sculpting their craft. But give me the people that need it most and want it most, and let me be their guide. My childhood was a neglectful one, but still filled with whimsy and imagination, both on and off stage. During high school, I lived with a mother that was debilitatingly addicted to painkillers. She was unconscious or crashing cars or breaking bones and nearly escaping death on a monthly basis. At that time, I never had a meal to start or end the day or any extended family, so I fended for myself. I found a safe home in the theater department of my high school where I spent hours, and an inspirational performing arts teacher named Doc that changed my life. He pushed me to my limit on everything in every single way, and he taught me that giving 110% still isn't giving your best. He wanted me to be great, but most of all, I learned that art spaces become sanctuaries for the people that need it most. My mom died a year after I graduated high school. I was devastated, but I never turned down the wrong path. Why? Because the arts save. They empower us and give us an outlet when we need it, force us to feel, to remember, and to connect with each other as a society on a deeper level. In the arts field, though, it's a common misconception that your career is over once you have a family, yeah? That it's one or the other. I don't accept that notion. Doesn't the phrase, stay-at-home mom, sound like an order? Stay at home, mom. We don't say, stay in your work truck, plumber, or sit at the nurse's station, RN, or don't leave your classroom, teacher. I like to call myself a raise great humans and change the world through the arts mom. Because as I grow and as my children grow, I see how they have deepened my understanding and enriched my artistic experiences. So ladies and gentlemen, regardless of what field you're in, be the leading lady or leading man of your own life. Things usually work out pretty great for the leading lady or leading man. Thank you to Wendy, the Department of Women's Services, Supervisor Ed Romaine, and the Town of Brookhaven, to all the amazing women receiving awards, and most of all, thank you to my Peter, and to our 4 sons, Devin, Thor, Odin, and Ivar, who make my heart so full and so grateful every day that giving back is easy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vertically challenged, okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm excited to be here. This is the first year being on the advisory board, so I had the great honor to read all of these essays to all these wonderful women, and we have some really dynamic women here, and so I'm very excited to be here and excited to hear all about everybody's stories. So I have the pleasure to introduce a woman that I had to pick her because it's in the business area, which is what I'm in, and she's in a male-dominated field, which I'm in. So it was almost a natural to pick her. So I'm excited to introduce to you Dee Dee Greiner. She was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, the oldest of 6 with 5 younger brothers. At the age of 14, she began cleaning offices. She waited tables in restaurants. She worked as a glass factory quench operator and material handler in plastics factory. Dee Dee joined the Laborers Union in Indiana as a road worker, handled concrete, asphalt, underground piping, and land clearing. Dee Dee was hired by general contractors Angelo Capabianco to clean a job site for 2 weeks to replace a man who didn't show up for work. But her work ethic resulted in a position for almost 7 years. She put on a tool belt, installed doors and hardware, doing whatever carpentry or laboring that was needed. Dee Dee suffered a minor head injury, putting her out of work, so she took a blueprint reading course at BOCES. Carl Caruso of Angelo Capabianco asked her if she was interested in being trained as a superintendent. He saw a strong, aggressive woman who was willing to work hard and learn. She asked so many questions, and he said that most men were too proud to ask questions, which cost him thousands of dollars. And we talked about that. That's a great thing, to really take that extra step and save money. Her first project was at the William Rogers Legislature building, and she was later managed 3 projects at Riley Elementary, Phillips Elementary, and Acabog Elementary in Riverhead by herself. Dee Dee is currently project superintendent of a $1.3 million project at the West Hampton Library with Lipsky Construction. Alan Lipsky of Lipsky Contractors described her as a powerful team member who can take full control of a room of construction workers and engineers. She exemplifies what every professional field superintendent should be like. H2M senior architect Pansy Chang described her as a detail-oriented, organized, and thoughtful and communicative person, making sure that the men understand and follow her instruction on the job site without being frazzled. Dee Dee has had many struggles over the years, but the toughest one of all is when her partner Karen of 18 years was diagnosed with terminal stage 4 cancer. Dee Dee continued to stay focused on her career and the demands it presented, but was still able to care for Karen during this difficult period. After 3.5 years, Karen's tumor has miraculously shrunk, which is a great thing. Dee Dee is extremely modest and gives credit for her success to many people. Mentors like Superintendent Robert Honor and project manager Peter Lacagnina, hope I said that right, who believed in her and her abilities to be a successful woman in a male-dominated field. Dee Dee is the first female construction superintendent on Long Island. She is an inspiration to women and is paving the way and building bridges for many other hardworking women who choose to be in the male-dominated construction field. So I'd like to introduce to you Dee Dee Greiner.
Thank you very much. Can I just set this down for a minute?
Yeah, I will stay here.
I'll
hold it for you.
Okay, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Denise, I'd like to thank you very much. All right, I have a few thank yous. First of all, Denise, thank you for reading the bio. Beautiful job. Kate Browning, I'd like to thank you also for writing the beautiful bio. And thank you for coming. Okay, the few people that wrote letters on my behalf, the reason I'm here, I got the phone call. I actually thought it was a prank phone call. This is real. I'd like to thank Danielle Vaskevich, director of the West Hampton Library. Along with the crew at the library, I'd like to thank Laura Spillane. What do we have here? Pansy Chang, H2M, the senior architect at H2M Engineering. I'd like to thank you also for sending in the letter on my behalf. Lipsky Enterprises, I don't even know what to say. Alex, thank you very much. I do have quite the history with Lipsky Construction. I did train under Capabianco. They give me, my 5-6 years of training. And then Lipsky, I'd like to thank you, Barry and Eric Lipsky, for continuing my education and bringing me up into the superintendent world that I'm in. What else do I have here? I'm a little nervous. Okay. My mentors, Robert Honor, superintendent, who took me, held my hand, to teach me how to be a superintendent. I'd like to thank him very much. Now, to this day, still a very good friend of mine, and only a phone call away if I ever have any complaints or questions for the business. Peter Lacanina, thank you, project manager. Also held my hand and kept me close to your side to walk me through. Superintendent, you know, the ups and downs with some of them. Unfortunately, I had issues with some of the men on projects. Kind of needless to say. Who else do I have here? I'd like to thank, of course, my mom and dad that couldn't be here tonight, just for unconditional love, teaching me how not to be a lazy child, would not let me be a lazy child, pushed me to my fullest at all times, whether it was sports, whether it was work, whatever it was in life. I'd like to thank them very much, of course. I love them very much. Last but least, my partner, Karen, I'd like to say of 18 years for standing by my side through thick and thin and never giving up on me, as I can be stubborn and pretty much sometimes impossible myself. I want you to know that you are my hero. Yeah, I've watched her while she's so sick with the cancer that she'd still force herself to get up every morning, whether it was to get up and take a shower, get dressed, even if it was just to sit back down or lay back down. She made herself get up. And, you know, I think it's a lot of mental strength, as, you know, as the physical strength was deteriorating. I like to say, you are my strength, okay, through everything. You amaze me. I love you. I'd like to thank everybody very much.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for coming out tonight. It's a wonderful night. As you're all hearing, we have some outstanding women here. I'm proud of every one of them, and they're so deserving of each award that they are getting. It is my pleasure and honor tonight to present Brookhaven Town's Women of the Year Award in the category of Business Communications Media to recipient Donna DeVita. Ms. DeVita is the founder, creator, and principal of Esquire Brand Management, or EBM. It's a national branding and marketing agency. She is also the marketing director for Lewis, Joes, Avalon, Aviles, a large reputable New York law firm. Donna holds a BBA degree from American University of London, where she graduated magna cum laude. She began her career in England, where she quickly established herself as a fierce and competitive marketing director. She eventually returned to the United States and continued to build a very successful career in branding and marketing, specifically in the legal sector. Her work has won industry awards, including Long Island Business News Top 50 Women Professionals of 2018 and the Marketing Initiative of the Year Award in 2000. She is highly respected in her field. When Donna is not busy at work, she is either given lectures or mentoring marketing students at Stony Brook University, EBM's internship program, including professional mentor through the Moxie Foundation. Additionally, Donna does a lot of volunteerism at several charitable organizations. Whether it be helping to raise awareness, funds, or physical help, Donna is passionate about helping. She recently visited a little orphanage in Haiti named Gracious Hands, where she helped build the sustainable gardening towers that provide nutrient fruits and vegetables to the orphanage. Her love, care, and concern are genuine, and she inspires others to volunteer. Donna defines herself not just by her successes of her business or clients, but also by her deep commitment to community outreach, mentoring, and other charitable work. Her accomplishments and dedication to her work and community clearly mark her as an outstanding woman and truly deserving of this Brookhaven Women of the Year Award. So please thank me and bring up Donna DeVita.
So they're asking a communication and advertising person to do 2-minute speech. My art lady, she gave me a little room there. So I got a call from an unknown number, and I was like, all right, I don't usually like to pick it up, but it might be business, so I'm going to pick this phone call up. And I get this call, and it says, you Donna DeVito? And I said, yes, this is Donna DeVito. And they said, this is the Town of Brookhaven. And I said, oh, and I'm thinking to myself, we just put a pool in and a deck, and I'm like, you know, did he get the CO? And so I, you know, well, this is Donna DeVito. Yeah, this is Donna DeVito. What? So she's like, well, I'd like to congratulate you. And I said, congratulate me? Yeah, like on what? And again, I'm thinking I'm being harassed by the Town of Brookhaven. And in the end, she says, I want to congratulate you. And I said, congratulate me for what? And she said, you know, you've been chosen for this one. I'm like, oh my God. I'm so sorry, I was rude. So anyway, that's my side story. You know, when I was a little girl, my dad and I were talking about a career, like what school I would go to and what I want to be. And I said to my father, Daddy, you know, I really want to be a secretary. And he said, you know, honey, that's good, and I'm glad that you want to be a secretary, but do you know you can also have a career to have a secretary? And I said, oh, I could have a secretary? And he said, yeah, you work hard and you have and there's nothing wrong with being a secretary, but he was giving me the opportunity to let me know that there was much more that I could possibly go for. And so with my parents who are here, I definitely pursued the route of going to college, and I headed on over to England and got my degree there. But when I graduated with stars in my eyes. This is it. I'm going to kick ass. I am a marketing professional. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to work for a blue chip. I'm going to climb up that corporate ladder. I'm going to prove myself, and I'm going to earn a great income. That's success. That's what I defined success as. And about 5 years ago, I was lucky enough to have an amazing client come into my life, a very young, high net worth trial litigator over in Miami that made millions in the BP oil spill litigation. And we started working together because I was working on other areas, practice areas, of where he wanted to get into to expand the firm, because they were young and they were probably the fastest growing law firm in America. And I noticed when I was working with him, I always saw him doing this philanthropic work. But it wasn't just like writing checks and the typical sort of charitable things that you get involved with, events. I was seeing him with sick children and working in hospitals where he was truly doing things that I never saw someone so successful, someone with so much money do. And what I saw was him embracing children in Haiti and sick children and going to disaster relief programs and one day I said to him, I said, hey, Ricky, what's the deal here? I mean, like, how do you have all this time? And I'm like, God, I feel like you do so much. And he said to me, Donna, you know, I thought about it. When I die, what is my legacy? What am I leaving behind? My legacy is going to be I made a load of money on the BP oil spill. I want to be known for making a difference, changing people's lives. Why I'm on this planet? To make money? Or does that give me the ability to really help more, and not just financially? So I walked away, and I started thinking about it. I started thinking about myself, and I said, you know, what would be my legacy? Well, I'm pretty cool. I'm amazing, marketer. I'm a crazy, loving mom, a devoted wife and daughter. But I really started thinking about my career and thinking, I don't know, I don't really make a difference. I don't feel like I make a difference. And that's when I decided to change my whole purpose of the agency that I work with. One of my great law firms that I work with that does tremendous amounts of community outreach, I started working and taking clients where I said, I'm not taking a client on anymore unless they really want to give back in their communities they serve. This wasn't about writing a check. This wasn't just about writing a check and, okay, let's take care of this one. I want these guys knee-deep with turkeys and hams, giving away in the freezing cold to the needy. I wanted them to roll up their sleeves and see the community they serve, the underprivileged people, and really make a difference. And in turn, I wasn't billing for that. I wanted myself and my staff and my team to learn that, look, This isn't always about making money. This isn't always about the marketing, although great. I can take pictures, I can post, social following, PR, it's great. It's a double-edged, I'm able to get that. But at the end of the day, I will leave these places and feel so humbled. And I come home to my kids, come home to my family and be like, oh my God, we are so lucky. And I'm so grateful. So what I want to say to you is that, yeah, it's great that I'm here accepting an award. I'm more than humbled by it. I'm in a town that I live in and I'm so proud of. I have my family here, but most of all, my children that I hope that I'm grooming. They're one's at Chaminade, the other one's at St. John the Baptist. They're working, and they do everything by the book. We have to go to educate. We have to do education. We have to go to college. From college, we're going to get a good job. But stop. What are we also doing behind that? And so when they have to do community service to be in National Honor Society, or they have to do it for their religion, they're doing it with heart. They literally are getting behind what they're doing and what they're giving. And when I went to Haiti, and my husband has been to Haiti, and it was for this diva, Snobzilla here to deal with 500 million degree weather and look at the way people live, I wanted my children to understand that this life that we have, you have to make a difference. And that's what definitely defines success. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight's honoree in law enforcement is Suffolk County Police Commissioner Geraldine Hart. When Geraldine Hart was appointed the 14th Police Commissioner of the Suffolk County Police Department in 2018, she made history by becoming the first woman to hold that office. A graduate of St. John's University School of Law and St. Francis College, she joined the FBI as a member of the Healthcare Fraud Squad in the New York field office, conducting investigations in both Nassau and Suffolk counties. In 1999, she transferred to the Lucchese Organized Crime Squad, and in 2012, she was promoted to Supervisory Special Agent of the FBI's Genovese Organized Crime Squad. Recognizing the commissioner's talent, the FBI director named her the Senior Supervisory Agent overseeing the FBI's Long Island Resident Agency, supervising the Long Island Gang Task Force along with members of 10 federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies. In addition, the commissioner supervised all FBI violent crime investigations, most notably crimes committed against children on Long Island. A recipient of the prestigious U.S. Attorney General's Award for Excellence in Law Enforcement, the Commissioner has used her experience to strengthen the Suffolk County Police Department's focus on combating the heroin and opiate epidemic in Suffolk County and the town of Brookhaven. She has established protocols to aggressively identify and eradicate violent street gangs in our communities, especially MS-13. It is important to note that the Commissioner has significantly enhanced police department training for response to active shooter and terrorist threat scenarios. She has made collaborating with law enforcement partners locally, regionally, and nationally a cornerstone of her administration in her efforts to protect and serve the residents of Brookhaven and the County of Suffolk. It is abundantly clear that the Commissioner is a professional who has devoted her entire career to serving and protecting the people of Long Island and now Suffolk County and the town of Brookhaven. She is most worthy of the Advisory Board's Women of the Year in Law Enforcement Award. I have the pleasure, the extreme pleasure, of presenting to you Commissioner Geraldine Hart.
Good evening, and thank you, Gloria, for that lovely introduction. And thank you for the Town of Brookhaven, and of course, the Women's Services Division and Supervisor Ed Romaine for this honor. I am surrounded by accomplished women, and it's an honor to be here with them tonight. But I also want to take the opportunity to thank those who have supported us along the way, those who have cheered for us and mentored us and really made a difference in all of our lives. So thank you to all of you. I want to say, in particular in my life, I've had a mentor who's with us tonight. He was my boss when I was an agent in Queens. Happy working Lucchese Organized Crime Matters, and he called me into his office and said, it's time to step up into a managerial role, to which I replied, absolutely not. I'm not ready, and I have no desire to do that. But he was what we need in this world, somebody who looked out for me and saw something in me that perhaps I didn't see in myself. So he's with me tonight, and I want to thank him for all that he's done for me and take this opportunity to do that. And I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you especially to our awardees tonight for the fabulous work that they do in Brookhaven Town. My name is Nancy Ellis. I'm a member of the advisory board, and tonight I'm happy to introduce Dr. Carol Carter as this year's awardee for Community Service Professional. Dr. Carter has devoted her life to work in the area of family and individual therapy and counseling services. In 1992, Dr. Carter co-founded the Sunshine Prevention Center for Youth and Families with specific focus on substance abuse and violence prevention. The mission of Sunshine Prevention Center is as follows: to offer hope and inspiration to all families, to provide support and education through prevention, to reduce the effects of substance abuse and violence, and to connect families, schools, and communities. Dr. Carter's innovative work has no doubt saved children and families from the despair of drug addiction, domestic violence, and other mental health issues, and it is with pleasure that I introduce her as this year's awardee.
First of all, thank you so much to the town for all the people that nominated and that I was chosen for this. It was truly an honor. Especially thank you to the supervisor for all your continued support. We would not be where we are today without your help. And for the whole council members and all that I know have been really behind Sunshine Prevention Center this whole time. I especially want to thank Nancy for nominating me for this honor, and to my children also who had a part in that as well. I actually started Sunshine because of my family struggles with substance abuse and violence, and today has turned into this organization. So through our own pain, we're now able to help other families. It's not really about me. I really believe I'm doing what God put me on this earth to do. I have a gift to be able to look behind people's behaviors and people that kicked out of school and no one wants to work with them, and I truly believe that us, at Sunshine Center, we're able to do that and not judge someone for mistakes they've made in the past. And, so I'm grateful to get this honor, so Sunshine's recognized for the work that we do there. It's not about me. I could not do it without the staff that I have. It's people that really are caring and that really also have this gift and want to give back because they surely don't get paid what they should be paid. And many are giving longer hours than they're even paid for. So, I'm just grateful to be here. And again, thank you to the town for this recognition, because it really means a lot. And congratulations to everyone else. Thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to present the award for Community Service Volunteer. After almost 3 decades of teaching English for the Middle Country School District, where I was as well, and a subsequent career in professional development, teacher coaching, curriculum writing, and mentoring, This recipient has transitioned to a position creating programs which educate the more than 25,000 school children who visit the Vanderbilt Museum, Mansion, and Planetarium in Centerport each year. She serves as the first vice president of its Board of Trustees and has chaired the Education and Exhibits Committee since 2004. That year, Gretchen was appointed by Vivian Valoria Fisher, who was then a Suffolk County legislator, to this voluntary position. In the words of the Vanderbilt Executive Director Lance Reinheimer, she is passionately involved in developing new educational programs, and Assemblyman Steve Engelbright recommended her, saying that Gretchen has championed creative programs which bring to life the wonder and excitement of the Vanderbilt's unique collections. She's poured her skill, talent, and time into helping to transform the Vanderbilt Museum into a premier science education center for the tri-state area. This year's recipient of the award for Community Service Volunteer is Gretchen Oldrin Moniz. Gretchen and her husband Herb are traveling right now, and she's not here to receive this, but her friend and colleague, and mine as well, Laura Rotundi, I believe, is here to accept this on her behalf. Thank you.
Tonight's honoree in the category of education is Dr. Marie Ficano, Executive Director of the Alternatives for Children School, a position she has held for 30 years. During those years, she has been a tireless advocate for young children with disabilities and their families throughout Brookhaven Town. Dr. Ficano has a BS and an MS in special education and a doctorate in education. She began her career as a special education teacher in Brooklyn before teaching in several Long Island school districts. In 1988, she became the Chief Executive Officer, Executive Director at Alternatives for Children, which was formerly St. Charles Education and Therapeutic Center. Dr. Ficano is active in various organizations on a federal and state level and has served in many leadership positions. Dr. Ficano's dedication to sustaining quality education programs has impacted thousands of children and families. She has done this through unrelenting dedication, commitment, purpose, and hard work necessary to meet the mission of excellence in quality educational services. It is stated by one of her faculty members that she is impressed daily with how Dr. Ficano leads this large organization with steadfast focus and a constant eye towards the future. For this, she deserves to be recognized as a woman of distinction in the field of education. Dr. Ficano.
Thank you. Thank you, Supervisor Romaine, Councilman, and all of the Women's Advisory Board. And thank you to all of you for coming this evening. And congratulations to all of the honorees, all very well deserving. I sincerely appreciate the recognition. It's a privilege to be honored. It's even a greater privilege to be able to fulfill what you believe is your passion on a daily basis. I'm privileged to be Executive Director of Alternatives for Children for 30 years. I don't know where the time went, but it's a not-for-profit organization that serves children with disabilities ages birth through 5 years of age. We serve children across Nassau and Suffolk County, but we serve a great many children from here in the town of Brookhaven. Our mission is to provide the highest quality program and services to children with a range of disabilities, children on the autism spectrum, or children who are medically frail or multiply handicapped. We serve them at a critical time in their development when quality services are so important. All of the research and efficacy studies show that the earlier one intervenes, the better the outcome. And that's what Alternatives is about. We have those demonstrated outcomes to show that we do a good job.
Each year, our organization serves over 1,000 children in Suffolk County. The goal is to have each child reach his or her potential and ultimately become a productive member of society. My role as executive director is to lead the organization, one that is powered by 400 women. So, those 400 professional women, educators, therapists, and support staff. 400 women who make a difference in the lives of children with special needs and their families with whom I share this award with. I am fortunate to have a job where I could advocate for children and their families at the federal, state, and local levels. And I get to go back and share it with our organization every day. I do it with the help of my colleagues, my staff, and my family that's here with me tonight. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Madeline Grasso. This evening, I'm privileged to present in the field of government an award to Annette Mahoney Cross. I'm going to read a letter that was submitted on her behalf. It says, "Dear members of the Women's Advisory Board, I am writing to nominate my colleague, Annette Mahoney Cross, for the 2019 Brookhaven Town Women's Recognition Award. I have known Annette for over 15 years, and she is beyond serving of this recognition. I first met Annette when we were both training to be social workers, then continued to work with her collectively while I was a hospital social worker. Annette is a born social worker who works tirelessly on behalf of those she serves in her community. She has worked as a CPS and APS caseworker, and as a result of her skill and dedication, was quickly promoted. She currently serves as the Director of Adult Protective Services. She also is a psychotherapist and has worked with many different populations, but specializes in working with addictions. However, Annette's professional accomplishments are only a small part of why she should be recognized. Annette is the first one to volunteer her skills and time when needed. She will often accept referrals of private clients who are unable to pay and will take the cases pro bono. She volunteers her time as a crisis counselor with crisis text line, working with those who are suicidal or are experiencing other personal crises. She understands the mental health and addiction crisis and will give of herself and her own time to help others countless hours each week. She is an active member of her union, working for better working conditions for social workers. I am not sure where she finds the time. However, she also volunteers at her daughter's school in Patchogue, assisting in fundraising and public relations. Annette is the epitome of a distinguished woman. Ladies and gentlemen, Supervisor, Town Council, please let me introduce to you, in the field of government, Annette Mahoney Cross.
Wow. I am truly overwhelmed and humbled to be standing here with these women. I don't think we often hear all the stuff we do all together, and it's like, wow, do I do that? And I guess I do, but I think truly I'm just a civil servant. I'm a government worker. I've worked for years on behalf of the Association of Municipal Employees and our workers working in child protective and adult protective services. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to do that and work for better conditions and work to get laws passed to protect our workers. In addition, to get laws passed to help our clients that we work with every day. I want to just thank a couple of people very quickly, my mom and dad, for instilling a strong sense of social responsibility. Wow. Okay. Okay, I'm not really a crier, but again, truly, when I say my mom and dad, I really mean that. My husband, my daughter. Wow. My union brothers and sisters, in particular AME President Dan Leveler, the entire board, and a special thank you to my friend, Assemblyman Joe DiStefano, who worked with me over the years, pursuing the issues of better working conditions, pursuing the issues of protecting our employees, and really pursuing the issues of making sure that government employees have good working conditions and are able to do their jobs and are able to serve the public, because that's what we want to do. So thank you so much to the Town Council, Supervisor Romaine, and everyone who came tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. It is my honor to introduce Denise Driscoll as Brookhaven's 2019 Healthcare Provider of the Year. Having come to Mather Hospital in 1986 as a SUNY Stony Brook student, Denise is proud to have been working at this hospital in the mental health field for 32 years. She now leads its busy behavioral health department. Throughout Denise's early clinical practice years, she embraced many inpatient and outpatient behavioral health roles ranging from RPN, nurse practitioner, psychotherapist, and ultimately directing individual, group, and couples therapy and outpatient programs. Her accomplishments are too numerous to mention here, but I shall refer to a few. In 1995, she became the first psychiatric nurse practitioner to practice independently at Mather. In 2001, she was appointed director of the hospital's partial hospitalization program for adults, managing a team of psychiatrists, nurse practitioners, social workers, and support staff. Simultaneously, Denise was appointed a professor at Stony Brook University, teaching online students from across the U.S. in the specialty of graduate psychiatric nursing. Denise gladly reaches out to the community as well. She teaches public groups how to deal with people with mental illness and with addictions, believing that they deserve to be understood and treated with compassion. Denise possesses an incredible talent for working with people of all ages and cultural backgrounds to help them meet their unique and diverse needs. Already a recipient of numerous prestigious awards for being an excellent leader, teacher, role model, mentor, and coach, Denise is indeed a professional woman worthy of high praise and commendation, a true community treasure. And so it is our pleasure to honor Denise tonight. Congratulations, and meet Denise.
Thank you, Town of Brookhaven, for this great honor. Mental illness has no discrimination. It doesn't care who you are or where you're from or what you have. There are over 45 million people in the United States today that are living with a mental illness. And suicide is the fourth leading cause of death among adults in this country today. Now is the time to stand up together, to fight against the stigma, to rethink mental illness, and to work together for a greater understanding of one another, because together we can do anything. I want to thank Mather Hospital Administration for all of their support, especially Dr. Marie Mulligan, who has offered me opportunities for a career I could only have dreamed about as a young nurse. I want to thank Debbie Engelhardt, who graciously accepted me as her partner in bringing awareness about substance abuse and mental illness into the public library. I want to thank my colleagues and my staff, because you are the true heroes here. Your hard work and dedication know no bounds, and I'm so very proud to work alongside you each and every day. And finally, I want to thank my family, my son Daniel, and my husband John for always believing in me, even when I don't believe in myself. Thank you very much.
Tonight's honoree in the category of law is Judge Teresa Whalen. A graduate of Albany Law School with a Juris Doctorate degree, Stony Brook University with a BA in English, as well as a master's in policy analysis and public management. Judge Teresa Whalen, the Suffolk County surrogate, also continues in her role as supervising judge of the Family Court of Suffolk County, a position she has held for the last 3 of her 11 years on the Family Court bench. Prior to her election to the Family Court in 2007, Judge Whalen was an assistant county attorney and a confidential law clerk to 3 Supreme Court justices. Her broad knowledge of all aspects of civil law made her an invaluable asset to the justices she worked with during those years and continues to benefit those hundreds of litigants who appear before her. The Chief Judge of New York State has appointed the judge to several extremely I'm trying to get through this real fast, you can see. Significant committees, including the Family Court Advisory and Rules Committee and the State Commission on Parental Representation. She is the chair of the Suffolk County Attorneys for Children Advisory Committee. She's a member of the Attorney for the Child Task Force, where awarded the Suffolk County Bar Association's 2016 President's Award for outstanding service to the bench, bar, and the litigants of the Family Court serves. The judge is also a proud member and past president of the Suffolk County Women's Bar Association. It is crystal clear that Judge Teresa Whalen is an individual who has devoted her entire professional career to serving and protecting the rights of families, especially children and the residents of the County of Suffolk and the Town of Brookhaven. She is most worthy of the Advisory Board's Women of the Year Law Award. I present Judge Teresa Whalen.
So good evening, Supervisor Romaine, members of the board, members of the Division of Women's Services, the Advisory Board, ladies and gentlemen, families and friends. I want to thank you for this award. I am both honored and humbled that Women's Services chose me for my work in the legal field. But I know I did not get to my position alone. I do owe a debt of gratitude to the women who paved the way. I started practicing law 30 years ago. When I graduated, the graduating class had 50% women, and at that time, I naively believed that the brave women ahead of me had already paved the way. While women were breaking into the legal profession in record numbers in the late 1980s, we still faced barriers reaching into the upper levels of our profession. But it was women like Justice Mary Werner and our own Marion McNulty, who are local heroes. They formed the Women's Bar Association. They made headway. They were among the first women judges in Suffolk County. And all the while they were making those headways, they were bringing all the younger women behind them. And I also, Justice Emily Pines, she gave me my first chance in the legal field working for a judge, so I thank her as well. And just as they grabbed me by my hand and advanced me through my career, I vowed to do the same for the younger generation. I encourage the women that work with me to join the Women's Bar Association, to become active, to advance their careers as best that they can. And I encourage everyone, no matter what their position, to work for opportunity and equality for everyone. So those of us working in the legal field, we all have unique opportunities and responsibilities beyond our immediate reach. And one of my best role models is Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was top in her class at Harvard and Columbia Law School, but couldn't find a job when she graduated. This was back in the 1950s. She spent her career working to end that discrimination, and she now sits on the court where she was able to end discrimination for a large part, at least legally, against women, and we all owe her a debt of gratitude. I greatly admire all of the honorees here tonight. We are all legacies of the courage and determination of a Ruth Bader Ginsburg and the brave women like her. So there's so many talented women. They're all excelling at their chosen professions. This is what women like Ruth Bader Ginsburg envisioned, my mother envisioned, what Judge Werner envisioned, all of these brave women that that came before us and we owe so much to. A world that is open and fair, that affords all people, regardless of gender, race, ethnic background, the opportunity to choose an occupation, to work hard, and to excel, whether it's law or medicine, education or law enforcement, child care or animal care, science or religion. That's what this country is about, and I'm so proud to be part of it. Unfortunately, my husband is not able to be here tonight. He's one of my biggest supporters, and since I love him dearly, I will forgive him. But I do want to recognize some people who are here. My beautiful daughter, Erin, is here. She's a fierce supporter of animals and everything to do with them. She works hard at her career in that area. I have some friends with me here today. Judge Karen Legurcio, she's a family court judge. She's top-notch. She's a past recipient of this award. I thank her for being here. Linda Marone, we actually started our careers in, well, maybe not quite started, but we were very young lawyers in the Supreme Court. She's working with me now, and I really appreciate her friendship and support. I want to give a shout out to the law department and all the other people from Surrogates Court who's with me today. I think we have Brett, Hayfully, Scott McBride, Frank Voles, Amy Shee. They're terrific lawyers. They're wonderful people. I have a great working environment, and they all came out here for me tonight, and I really appreciate that. They make working you know, a really wonderful place. I want to thank everyone here, all the award recipients, and again, thank you to the Town of Brookhaven.
Giant shoe problem. Sorry. Good evening, everybody. My name is Marissa Pisa. I am the conservative member of the Women's Advisory Board. I want to congratulate all the wonderful, wonderfully accomplished women behind me, and a special thank you also to Sharon Boyd, our program manager. She does the work of 3 people. She's terrific. And the Town of Brookhaven is so lucky to have her. And now another terrific woman. It's my honor to introduce Dr. Kim Carpentieri, the 2019 Women's Recognition Award recipient for medicine. Kim, there we go. I heard claps. Worth it. Kim is a graduate of New York College of Osteopathic Medicine. Dr. Carpentieri began her medical career in 2003 as an assistant professor of family medicine at the same school that she trained at. During her 8.5 years there, she both taught and practiced. In 2012, she joined Long Island Community Hospital in the village of Bellport. Kim also remains active in teaching and is an adjunct clinical assistant professor of family medicine at NYITCOM. In 2011, she was inducted into the American Osteopathic Association Hall of Fame. And in 2013, she was named a Guardian of the Profession by the AOA, and in 2018, Kim received the President's Award from the New York State Osteopathic Medical Society. Each July, she travels to Chicago for the AOA House of Delegates annual meeting to assist in writing both policy and procedure. Dr. Carpentieri writes cases for the National Board of Osteopathic Medical Examiners that students of medicine study today. And as if this wasn't all impressive enough, Kim also finds time to enjoy a wonderfully rewarding personal life. She's married with 4 daughters, Jordan, Taylor, Ava, and Victoria, whom she enjoys bringing to their activities, including swimming, horseback riding, music, and Girl Scouts. As a member of the Bellport Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Carpentieri enjoys the community in which she works and truly enjoys the people and its small town feel. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming and congratulating Dr. Kim Carpentieri, the 2019 Women's Recognition Award recipient for medicine.
Good evening, thank you. When you hear all that, I feel like, oh my gosh, that's me? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so humbled to be here tonight. First of all, I'd like to thank the Town of Brookhaven for this prestigious award. I'm so honored to be in the company of these great women. I would also like to thank my nominators from Long Island Community Hospital, Rich Margulies, Dr. Webbe, Carolyn Villegas, and Jennifer Piscatelli. I'd also like to give a special thank you to Rich Margulies, once again, along with Dr. Julia Fahey. Back in 2012, I left medical education to be closer to home and to my girls. I had a great job as an assistant professor at NICOM, where I had a nice balance of teaching and clinical medicine. When I left, I wondered, could the grass be greener? I was so lucky to have inherited Julia Fahey's practice in the village of Bellport under Long Island Community Hospital. It truly feels like home. It's a great community to practice in, and I am so thankful for my wonderful staff and patients. I would also like to thank my family, my husband, Mike, who is my greatest support and also my greatest fan, my parents, Sheila and Rick, who are always there for me in every way possible. Thank you for making me the person I am today. Thank you for always helping with the girls and your furry grandchildren as well. Thank you, my mother-in-law, Carol, for your constant love and support. It really does take an army. And of course, my 4 girls. Yes, you heard 4 girls. 11, 12, 13, and 14. Thank you for always making me proud and always making me laugh.
Hello again. Well, nominated in the category of religion, this recipient could easily have been confused with the nominees in the categories of volunteerism or law. Her resume includes degrees from Yale, Harvard, and Princeton, clearly a slacker. Her background in law took place at a legal aid society in Massachusetts and in a law firm in New York, doing research and working at state and federal levels on hate crimes, juvenile justice reforms, and voting rights offenses, as she represented some of the most vulnerable among us. Her recent years have been spent ministering to the 3 Village and Town of Brookhaven communities, first as assistant pastor, now interim pastor, at the Setauket Presbyterian Church, right in my neighborhood. She is moderator for the 3 Village Interfaith Clergy Association, which was recognized by the Times-Beacon Record News as a 2018 Person of the Year, and she herself was recognized as such in 2016. Pastor Jones Cologne is also active in groups such as Erase Racism and Building Bridges Brookhaven. In 2015, she founded the Open Door Exchange, an outreach program which provides furniture to individuals and families transitioning to housing from homelessness, military service, or other displacement following a disaster, and to those who cannot afford the cost of basic household furniture. Please join me in recognizing this year's recipient of the Award for Religion. She is a wife, mother, organizer, teacher, spiritual leader. She's the Reverend Kate Jones Cologne.
Thank you so much, Sandy, and I'm really grateful to the Town of Brookhaven and the Division of Women's Services for this recognition. I'm thankful that we live in a town that devotes resources particularly to addressing the needs and the unique needs of women. And it's an honor, especially to be in the company tonight of so many inspiring women here. It's just incredible to listen to all of these amazing things. And I want to especially acknowledge my town councilwoman, Valerie Cartwright. because she constantly inspires me with her energy and her commitment to ensuring that every resident of our town has equal access to services and an equal voice in government. So thank you. And finally, one of the great privileges that I have is to work and live in a community with a diversity of religious faiths and traditions, and the friendships that I have with clergy of different faiths. There is no time more important for us to be coming together to support one another, to celebrate those things that make us unique, but also to lift up those things that unite us in our diversity. And so I am really grateful to my own congregation, Setauket Presbyterian Church, for all of the ways that they do that, but also to the many faith communities in our town that enrich my life and work in so many ways. Thank you very much.
Greetings, everyone. I will be introducing the Women's Services honoree in the area of science. Pay attention. Kathy Cutler, PhD, has an impressive record of service to the nuclear medicine community. She has organized over 30 workshops at national and international conferences in the last 10 years alone. She is currently the director of the Medical Isotope Research and Production Program at Brookhaven National Laboratory. Dr. Cutler's research focuses on developing production and separation methods for high specific activity radioisotopes, creating a suite of diagnostic and therapeutic agents tailored for individual needs. Trust me, it's great. Her curriculum vitae lists many honors and awards, workshops and conference activities, mentoring activities, and editorial board memberships and positions on professional organizations, one of which is the Society of Nuclear Medicine and Molecular Imaging, which is one of the most prestigious and active societies for nuclear medicine in the world. Dr. Cutler serves as head of SNMMI Center for Radiopharmaceuticals. She has published more than 100 papers in peer-reviewed scientific journals and numerous chapters spanning from basic science through to translation, and she holds several patents. She is also an engaging speaker and has given more than 75 invited lectures. I have the pleasure of introducing an outstanding scientist, a leader, a role model for those aspiring to careers in science, education, technology, and engineering, Dr. Kathy Cutler.
So thank you. First, I'd like to thank the town of Brookhaven for acknowledging all these great women here. Normally when I'm at one of these meetings, it's a bunch of men, and it's usually them that are being acknowledged and maybe one woman and in one category. So here it's nice to see such the diversity in the categories and all the things that these women are bringing to make the society and Brookhaven better. So thank you all very much. I would further like to thank those at Brookhaven who nominated me. I, like many of them, got the call, had no idea what the call was, and was like, well, thank you, I still don't understand. But I do appreciate the fact that my colleagues put forth the effort to realize what I was working on and acknowledge it and to put me forward for this. I would further like to thank, and if you haven't done science before, science is it's a team sport. So we work together as a team to come up with hypotheses, which we then have to go out and fight for money for, and then fight to defend it against other scientists. And then if we're lucky, someday one of those ideas may actually work, and then we fight to get it into the clinic. And then if we're lucky, it succeeds and goes on, and someone else takes over and gets all the credit and makes all the money. But if you're lucky, what happened to me last year is I was sitting actually at there's a foundation that raises money for education, and they had asked me to come to one of their meetings and speak, and I did. And then I went to sit down and have lunch, and the woman next to me came up and gave me a big hug, which was a little shocking at first. But then she explained to me that I had developed an isotope that had saved her life. She had metastatic neuroendocrine tumors, and she had no other options. And this treatment came forward and saved her life. And so that is a great reason for being in science. So I'd also like to thank my friends, many of which are here, who often serve as sounding boards. And also I'd like to thank my family. My husband is sitting in the audience today, and you don't get here without good people behind you. And my husband, who often is my worst critic, but also is the one who tells me when I'm wrong, and who tells me when I think I can't do it, says, get back out there, you've got it. Thank you. So most of you don't know me, but I grew up in a rural area where we raised cows and pigs and corn, and I had no concept of what a scientist did or what a Department of Energy National Lab did. But due to mentors who encouraged me along the way, I went on to pursue a degree in science. And science doesn't always get, today it's not always acknowledged or appreciated. But for me, I have to say I love it because I get to go out and do things for the first time that no one else ever has. I get to test things, and sometimes I show I'm very wrong. But I learn more from those wrong things than I ever do from being right. And I get to be the first one to know those things, which is very impressive. And I want to thank all of those who've really pushed and mentored me along the way, and pushed me to be a leader in a field in which it was not known that women are usually very successful. So as I stand in front of you today, I challenge you to go out and mentor your daughters to pursue a career in science, because we need the diversity and the different ways of thinking to really solve all the problems we have out there. And on that, I thank you, and I thank you very much for this award.
Again, another opportunity to come up. As each of the board members, besides the different fields, each of the board members was asked to choose a person in their district to honor that has made a difference. If you know anything about Brookhaven, it is the largest town geographically in the state of New York, and it is the second largest by population. And if you look at a map, dead center in Brookhaven is the very large and multifaceted community of Coral. It is a community with a very active civic association, with a woman that leads that civic association and has led it for years, has been involved in everything to improve that community, from dealing with homeless, to dealing with dumping, to dealing with historic preservation, to dealing with things that every civic leader does. She is a force unto herself, and she has made the Coram Civic Association a force to be reckoned with, and certainly a force to be listened to. It is my pleasure as supervisor to have nominated the president, longtime president, longtime leader of the Quorum Civic Association, Irma Clark.
Good evening, everyone. If there's one thing I learned about coming to Town Hall for the past 20 years, listen, be brief. As Jane had said, try to keep it low. So, okay, what I did. My husband helped me with doing this. I said, okay, I'll do it. Good evening, Supervisor Romaine, Town Board, honored guests, and fellow recipients. I am very honored to be chosen for this award. I have worked for many years, along with the help of my board, to improve our hamlet of Quorum. A heartfelt thank you to the Town Board for your continuing help and support. I must also acknowledge the considerable work of my board. They have done more than was asked of them, arranging for our successful summer concerts the last couple of years, and our line dancing event coming up Friday, March 29th at the Old Quorum Firehouse, so everyone is invited. Our success is a team effort, whether it is a resident problem or a major cleanup around Quorum Plaza. When called upon, the town has always responded, especially last year at the Great Brookhaven cleanup when there was a mountain of debris to be hauled away. I am inspired and energized by this award and will continue to work for the betterment of Quorum. Thank you again, and I will always treasure this award, but I have something else to add. I wouldn't be standing up here. Oh, here we go. Okay. If it wasn't for the support of my husband, Robert. Yes, there have been 20 years worth of things, and we're married for 47 years, so there's a lot of dinners that I missed. And he never, ever complained about it. So I think he needs to be honored also. Hey, Bob. There, Bob. Okay, and thank you again. It's been at a loss for words, which he said for 47 years, you're never at a loss for words. So thank you all very much, and thank you for the town of Brookhaven, each and every one of you, especially since Quorum falls into 3 council districts. How lucky we are. I can bug all 3 council people. Oh, thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Valerie Cartwright. I'm the councilwoman in Council District 1 here in the town of Brookhaven. And it is indeed my pleasure and honor to present an award to Yvonne Grant. Yvonne Grant is a woman and a leader in our community whose reach goes far beyond my council district, goes far beyond Suffolk County. Her daily work basically impacts and shapes the lives of over 40,000 young ladies here in Suffolk County each and every day. Yvonne Grant is the president and CEO of the Girl Scouts of Suffolk County. Ms. Grant became involved in Girl Scouts in 1980 as a troop leader, after which she was appointed as a Girl Scouts area coordinator. In 1988, Ms. Grant joined the staff of Girl Scouts of Suffolk County and was appointed president and CEO by the board of directors in 2006. That's over 38 years of service to the Girl Scouts of Suffolk County. She has received numerous awards, very prestigious awards, but she doesn't allow that to stop the great work that she does with this community. I recall sitting with her the other day, and she had such passion and joy when she was talking about a new Girl Scout patch that the Girl Scouts is working on with Brookhaven National Laboratory. So she's not going to stop until she make sure that each and every Girl Scout here in Suffolk County gets the best of what Scouting has to offer and gets the best of what this world has to provide to these young ladies. In 2014, Ms. Grant spearheaded the opening of Discovery World STEM Center, a 4,500 square foot facility located in the Pine Barrens at Girl Scouts of Suffolk County Camp Sebago in Yaphank. As someone who benefited greatly from years of Girl Scouts myself, I was honored to attend the grand opening. Discovery World STEM Center offers girls a first-rate, hands-on approach to exploring the world of STEM through experiments and demonstrations, special guest presentations, and field trips. She, which is Yvonne Grant, makes sure that this program continues to run. And it should be noted that she continues to put forth programs that help women, young ladies, rise to the level that sometimes they don't know that they have. Parents, community members do everything in their power to mold our young women in these communities to make them women that can stand behind us today and sit behind us, women that are leaders in their community. But many times it comes from being a Girl Scout, whether it's being an adult volunteer in Scouting or whether it's actually being a Girl Scout and rising up the ladder. So Yvonne Grant has become a friend. She has worked with me over the years, worked with the town of Brookhaven, each and every one of my colleagues that are sitting before me, to help make the lives of so many children, young, 40,000 Girl Scouts here in Suffolk County, to be better young ladies and amazing women. So I'd like to ask Yvonne Grant to please step up and receive this award. She is a woman of faith, of service, and community. And we thank you for all that you do for our young ladies and for our community.
So I guess I don't have to say anything because Valerie said it all. I want to thank the Town of Brookhaven Supervisor Ed Romaine, Town Council, especially Valerie, who's a member of our Board of Directors. Our board chair, who's hanging out in the back of the room, Donna Smealin, who is my partner in crime. Our Girl Scout volunteers, who I note are here as well. So happy to have you here. There are 40,000 girls who make me look good every day. It's not me, it's them. It's our volunteers. We're really excited. We're especially proud of our STEM Center, working with the town of Babylon, with the Brookhaven National Lab, and I already recruited Kathy to come and do a program with us. The town has been exceptionally supportive of our STEM Center in Yaphank, and we're proud to have it. We're proud to serve the girls in Suffolk County, and I'm proud to be the head of Girl Scouts. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for staying around. You know, I'd like to congratulate all the honorees tonight, not just those that were chosen by the board, but by all those that were chosen by my colleagues. And I should also let everybody know that we, on our elected board in Brookhaven, Councilwoman Cartwright she and I are not the only women that serve in an elected position in Brookhaven on our town board, but our town clerk is also a woman. And we proudly join all the women here tonight in our hearts, acknowledging their contributions to Brookhaven. But my honoree for my council district, and I represent the 2nd council district in the town of Brookhaven, is Leanna Costa from AHRC Suffolk Foundation. In my role, I have been blessed to have met thousands of residents in the town of Brookhaven. I have shaken many hands, I've had many conversations, and I've met some very impressive people. but few stand out in my mind and that I have met like Leanna. She is a force to be reckoned with. Leanna's advocacy for people with developmental disabilities knows no bounds. She's the Director of Development for AHRC Suffolk Foundation, and in this role, she's involved with organizing large-scale fundraising initiatives, working with board members, and building relationship with donors, staff, and volunteers. Her responsibilities also include overseeing public relations, and as an aunt to a child with developmental disabilities, Leanna draws upon her first-person experiences and relates to them to the work being done at AHRC. I'm proud to congratulate Leanna for being recognized for her hard work and dedication to the community at this year's Women's Recognition Award. Congratulations, Leanna.
So I actually come from a vast media background, and normally I'm used to talking to rooms full of hundreds and thousands of people, and I'm never nervous. But I'm a little nervous now because this really has to do with my heart, as Jane mentioned. So I do want to thank and acknowledge Supervisor Romaine, Town Council, and the Division of Women's Services for this honor. I think I share a similar experience with some of these amazing, inspiring women up here when they got a phone call, you know, saying congratulations, and I said, for what, you know, and I don't think the magnitude of the honor has really hit me until tonight, and being among so many leaders in the community, being recognized for what they do. I think I echo what some people were saying in that I don't think what I do is a big deal. I look at it more as a privilege, and it's something that I get to do. And I do want to thank the very powerful women in my life who support me all the time and that are here with me. My best friend, my mom, Tammy, Lauren, her daughter Jenna. I'm so happy that you're here because I know you're already doing great things. Cynthia, Trisha, Sam here, and I have to thank my husband for putting up with my crazy antics all the time and my crazy ideas. But the person that I do want to thank the most, and Jane had mentioned, is my nephew, Elliot, who has unlocked my heart and really given me a purpose in life. And so I just hope that you all get that key handed to you at some point in your life, if it hasn't been handed to you already, so that your heart is unlocked and that you get to be in contribution. Not that you have to, but that you get to. So thank you.
Wow, as a Laval, I wasn't really dedicated with a lot of height. Let me fix this first. Wasn't the thing we were blessed with in my family, but thank you, everybody. Councilman Kevin Laval. I could tell you, I just want to recognize Sharon and Allison and everybody in Women's Services tonight. This is our 33rd annual event recognizing some great women. They do a great job, so thank you guys for everything that you do. I know I'd be remiss if before I honor my honoree tonight, if I didn't just say a quick shout out to 3 women in my life that have helped me become the person I am today. And that's my mom and my 2 sisters. They are 3 of the strongest women I've ever known in my life. It has been, I could not have accomplished anything without everything they did. I want to thank them. It was a great deal. I know my mom's watching Channel 18, so I may get some love on Sunday dinner. Just threw that one in there. But like I said, this is a great honor. These women, this is the 33rd annual awards presentation of this event. These women are joining an elite company of women in Brookhaven, and I just want to congratulate them. Tonight, I get to honor somebody who I consider a friend and somebody who I met a few years ago, and that's Officer Casey Berry. Casey's background is in social work. It is in the field she felt most appropriate because in that she could be in multiple settings with various populations and not limited to just one group or setting. The reason Casey chose a career that vast was because all she wanted to do was help people, all ages, all walks of life, all genders, and all facets. She started with early childhood intervention, counseled teens on probation, worked with chronically mentally ill adults, managed an admissions department to outpatient mental health clinic, and conducted psychiatric evaluations in an emergency room. Later, her father, a retired Nassau homicide detective, suggested she take the upcoming SCPD exam. Of the 30,000 individuals who took that test, Casey was called for the first class and couldn't ignore fate. She started a law enforcement career as a patrol officer and takes great pride in creating good impressions with the public, appreciating that she may be their only face-to-face interaction with an officer ever. This led her to teach Suffolk County Police Academy. As an instructor, Casey hoped to instill the same philosophy with new recruits while also utilizing her social work background to teach mental health, domestic violence, and other aspects of curriculum that fell under her purview. Casey eventually missed the public, and now Casey is a COPE officer. Now, this is where I got to meet Casey several years ago. Our COPE officers and our police officers overall do a great job, but our COPE officers serve a very unique purpose here in Suffolk County. They are the face and the voice of our police department. They are the people that go out to civic associations, they go into our elementary schools, they talk to our kids. They're the ones who are teaching all of our young people and us that talking to the police and working with the police is a good thing. Those are the things they should be doing. They are the face of what our police department is all about. And I can tell you this, Casey is an absolute hard worker, works with my staff all the time. Any issues that come up with constituents, she's there for us. Any issues at civic meetings or any other meetings, she's there. She's her voice. And I cannot tell you how pleased I am to not only call her my liaison for my district, but also a friend. And without any further ado, Officer Casey Barry.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Kevin. I appreciate the introduction. He pretty much covered everything I do. And that's really where I want to thank the police department for putting me in a place where I am a conduit to the public, where I'm able to provide support, education, and information, and do the things that I really do the things that I really love to do. I have an amazing commanding officer who's here tonight, Inspector Riley, who provides his guidance, support, and vast knowledge base to me on a daily basis. And I want to thank my partners who aren't here this evening, but Officers Efstathiou and Officer Zeman, where the three of us, I think, we're an incredible team, and we're able to be in a variety of settings, not just to provide support, education, and information, but to be the conduit to the public, to bridge that gap between the police department and all walks of life. And that's really what the purpose of our community relations department is. And I've been fortunate and blessed just to be able to have the journey that I've had to go from social work to now wear a uniform that I can't really fit into because I'm expecting a baby. But I'm really so proud to wear the uniform that I do and to represent the police department in such a positive way, and to be able to have conversations with people and have that dialogue, and to give some personal touch to not just groups of people, but to the individual interactions that I have. And I want to thank Kevin, because Kevin has invited us to myriad settings. He has these summer series, there's the Hoops for Heroes. He's blown away our National Night Out, which is something we have in August. I hope that you'll all be there. He knocked it out of the park this past year and helped us to knock it out of the park. It's something that really celebrates community policing by bringing the community together, and we wouldn't have been able to have the outstanding attendance that we had this past year if it wasn't for him. So I thank you for being able to put me in the environments that you do, to allow me to do the work that I do, to allow us to do the work that we do, the police department, my partners, my bosses, to be able to be somewhere where we can connect with society in ways that we wouldn't otherwise be able to. So thank you. I'm very humbled by this. I appreciate your time, and congratulations to everybody else.
You know, Laval talks about height, and I love following him because I never really have to move the microphone that much. But, Councilman Michael Lugarcio, and good evening again, everyone. You know, not only am I the councilman of the 4th Council District, but I also have the honor of being the liaison to Women's Services here at the Town of Brookhaven. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank all of the wonderful ladies who are part of Housing and Human Services. And I thank them from the bottom of my heart for all that they do, for not only for the ladies in the room, but also for the Youth Services Bureau that they manage. So thank you so much for taking care of everyone in our district. My nominee this evening is Yvonne Rivers. She was born in the Bronx and moved to Long Island as a 10-year-old girl. Yvonne's parents quickly carved out an important role as the original homesteaders of the Gordon Heights community. Along with her siblings, Yvonne attended grade school and high school in Port Jefferson. She earned her associate's degree from Suffolk County Community College and then earned her master's degree from Stony Brook University in social work. Yvonne served as a social worker at Pilgrim State for over 40 years, and after retirement, she still continued to serve those who were in need of therapy. While she flourished in her career, Yvonne also provided many outlets to the Gordon Heights community. She founded a group known as ERRS, which stands for Eliminating Roadblocks and Resistance to Success, which helped to motivate and empower countless youths in the area. In addition, Yvonne served as a parent for the Knights of the Purple Haze Drill Team and provided jobs to local kids through the Progressive Association. Yvonne played a pivotal role in helping the Gordon Heights Fire Department function in its early years, and she assisted students that launched a nonprofit organization with the Gordon Heights Credit Union. She helped to facilitate Suffolk County Transit bus stops in Gordon Heights as well. These are some amazing accomplishments by a truly, truly amazing woman. Yvonne Rivers is the heart and true essence of Gordon Heights. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating my nominee this evening, Yvonne Rivers.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. Romaine, I don't know whether you remember about the health council that we used to have. That's how old I am. And I can take this opportunity to thank you as a legislator in Suffolk County. One day from out of nowhere, I had to go up there, and I ran right into you, and you made sure that you opened up the waters so that I could do whatever I had to do. And I used to say, I thank you for that. But I just want to share with you this award. It's not my award. It's not an Yvonne Rivers award. I'm going to ask the true Yvonne Rivers to please stand up. Yvonne Rivers, please stand up. I don't believe, and the town has been trying to give me an award for a long time, and I would not take it because I can't really fathom that Yvonne did this, that, and the other thing. Yvonne could not have done any of that stuff without people who were willing to take an order, or look at what we needed to get done. So I want to thank Supervisor Ed Romaine and Town Council and my friend over here, and I'm not going to say your name because I know I'm going to mess it up. Michael. Because all of us impart something to everybody that we meet. I don't know whether we realize that or not. And I had the good fortune of being amongst people who were imparting good information. And God has blessed me with an ability to absorb what's good in you for me to go and facilitate whatever needs to be done. I even want to thank my adversaries because they're the ones that told me that you got more work to do. So, but, and then they showed me how to do it. That's the beautiful part about it. So I just want to thank Mike for thinking in that robbery, and Chief Rudder of the Gordon Heights Fire Department for thinking in that robbery for me to receive this award on your behalf. On your behalf. I see Keith back there. And a whole lot of other people who have helped me and don't even know that they have. You know, so I want to thank all of you. And I'm going to sit down now.
Good evening, I'm Councilman Neil Foley, and it's an honor to be here tonight for multiple reasons, because just hearing these stories and the journeys of these women are amazing. I have 3 sons and 1 daughter, and believe me, I'm going to sit my daughter Grace Ann down tonight or tomorrow and have her watch Channel 18, because hearing these women's journeys is just beyond incredible. Tonight I'd like to honor my friend Joelle Hawks, Blue Point resident. So back in the mid-90s, Joelle was working down on Wall Street and decided to have a career change and jump into the entertainment industry. And she forged a friendship and a business partnership with the entertainer RuPaul. And through their journey, my friend Joelle has become a movie producer, a record producer, multiple TV show producers, and those shows have won multiple Emmys. But I want to recognize Joelle tonight for her other parts of her life too, because she's a mom, she's a wife, she's a community activist, and I can't tell you what she's done for our community down in Blue Point. So tonight, without further ado, I'd like to recognize my friend Joelle, and thank you for all that you do for our town and community, Joelle.
Wow, okay, well, there's my speech. We're saving 2 minutes right here. Thank you, Supervisor Romaine and the whole town council men and women and all the organizers. And I am so humbled and honored to be amongst all of these incredible women. And you basically said it all, so I'm just gonna leave you with my daily mantra, which I hope will resonate for you. And this is it. Use everything for growth, upliftment, and learning. So that's everything, whether positive or negative. Use everything for growth, upliftment, and learning. And thank you so much. I look forward to what the universe has in store next. Have a great night.
Awesome. We're going to take a picture of you.
Oh, thank you. I skipped it because you said everything.
Well, thank you all very much. I am the last person that stands between you and cold coffee and cookies. On the other side of the wall, it'll still be quite good. I have a very special person I've chosen, and I want to make sure I encapsulate in my remarks why I chose this person and why I think so highly of her, and that's Kerry Rosalia. She's a resident of Manorville. She is the director of the Mastic Mauritius Shirley Community Library. She's held that position since 2007. She manages a staff of over 200 people who adore her, who love her, in a community that can be tough. And I understand Kate Browning is in the audience. She knows exactly what I mean. I represent a community, as does Kerry, as did Kate, a very genuine, outspoken people who tell you exactly how they feel. And I'll tell you that this woman is a person of uncompromising integrity and a person who truly wants more for the community. Now, I sit on a town board in a town, as the supervisor mentioned, as big as Nassau County. And those of you who watch Channel 18, and hopefully will re-watch this event here tonight, know that we have at times, very colorful characters who come up and speak before the town board. I will tell you that I've been to public meetings on the outreach for the library and the awesome programs that they offer the community. Incredible programs that they offer the community that this woman has brought forward to try to lift a community up. I've heard things said to her that have not been said, and amazing things have been said at these town board hearings, and I've seen a woman keep her composure, meetings that my blood was boiling for her. But she is 100% committed to her passion of educating, especially our youth, and raising up the community. She didn't bat an eye. She stood there on her quest to help raise the community and went forward with her points in trying to educate people who at times tried to rip her down. She is an amazing person who I hold in the absolute highest regards, a person who will not stop until the community gets the library that they deserve, a person I support 100%, and while people, even seasoned political people, told me, Dan, do not get involved in the library, I got involved because I want better for the community and because I believe in this woman. And I believe in this woman's cause so strongly that I, out of a large council district, chose her to be the honoree. She's an amazing person. She also is a small business owner, Beach Buddha Yoga, and maybe that's why she didn't get upset. A very successful businesswoman, an amazing person. It is my absolute honor to introduce Carrie Rosalia, the honoree from the 6th Town Council District. You're the last person. You can have the whole plant.
Thank you so much. That's going down, yeah. I'm acutely aware that it's March Madness, and excuse my husband tonight to watch the teams that are going to the dance, right? So thank you all for skipping the opening night of March Madness to be here to support these amazing women. Thank you, Supervisor Romaine, Councilman Panico, for your kind remarks. And for your support for a new library, which someday will happen, we're sure of it. We just can't give up the hope. I want to thank my board president and for all of my board members who supported me and wrote letters on my behalf, and the other people that nominated me for this tonight. It's a privilege working with them. It's been my privilege to work in public libraries for over 30 years, and various places, school libraries, large public libraries, small East End libraries. It's all been a great experience for me. I came out of a community, Blue Point, where I grew up. Being able to walk to my public library, it was such an amazing experience. It's where I spent a lot of time, developed a love of reading, and when I wasn't sure what to major in college, of course, English Lit was the thing to do, because I was going to get to read more books, and my parents were going to pay for that experience. Came out of college with the ability to type. I took keyboarding, and so when I wasn't sure what I was going to do, went into a lot of job interviews in New York and was automatically pigeonholed into administrative assistant work because I could keyboard fast, and just felt like that probably wasn't the right thing to do. My father suggested I go get a master's degree in library science, and I thought that was a ridiculous idea, but kind of sunk in, and I have no regrets now that I did go on to do that. I had no idea when I went to work in libraries and went into an administrative role how closely I'd be able to work with elected officials and what a rewarding experience that would be. I know Assemblyman DeStefano has left, but he was able to secure us a grant recently so we could lend mobile hotspots to residents of the community that don't have internet access at home to help with homework help and access to the internet. Councilman Panico has been an amazing supporter of ours for all these years in our quest to solve our facility issues, and I appreciate your sense of humor along the way. And former county legislator Kate Browning, who serves on our Community Literacy Project Board, as an immigrant to this country who obtained her citizenship and went all the way on to an elected office. She's an inspiration to our residents. We have a huge immigrant population in the community, and many people probably don't know that one of our key service points is to offer ESL classes both day and night to our residents so they can learn English. And there's also a citizenship component where people can take citizenship classes and go on to take the citizenship test and become citizens as well. And so as libraries are changing, most people still think of us as housing books and being book repositories, but there's so much more going on in libraries today. I want to thank Councilman Foley, because I know you supported the Bayport Blue Point Library Project, for my husband, Mike Firestone, who's the director there. So I've heard a lot about you, and thank you for your support of libraries. And I'd just like to thank my husband, who is home watching March Madness. I hope the games aren't all over and that you get to go home if that's what you like to do and see a little bit of that. And thank you to all my fellow honorees. It's very inspiring to hear your stories. And it's Buddha Beach Yoga. You got it close, but yeah. Buddha Beach Yoga, so thank you. Have a great night.
Our 50 volunteers at Dress for Success are an integral part of our organization, whether it's working our clothing boutique, assisting the Career Center, participating in our job readiness programs, or working behind the scenes in the office. Our volunteers are the reason we can accomplish so much. I see our volunteers here. Volunteers, you want to stand? I'm not sure who's here, but our first volunteer award goes to Annette Crossan. Annette, after retiring from the New York City Police Department, Annette came to Dress for Success looking for direction in a new career. After searching, she found the best fit would be to become a volunteer with us. Annette loves to volunteer and work with other clients, but she is best known in her role as our excess inventory sale coordinator. Over the past years, Annette has sorted, organized, and made our sales a success they have become. Last year, Annette was instrumental in organizing our first ever pop-up sale that was held on Main Street in Patchogue. This was a huge success that spread awareness and raised money for our mission. Thank you, Annette. Would you come up? Our second volunteer award goes to Ronnie Schultz. Ronnie has volunteered with Dress for Success for several years after retiring from Stony Brook Hospital as an Associate Director of Women's, Children's, and Mental Health Services. Ronnie is our professional women's group coordinator. This group meets monthly and discusses important topics to help our women retain their jobs and stay employed. Ronnie also coordinates every aspect of our very busy Career Center. Our Career Center serves hundreds of women throughout the year. Ronnie updates our resources to keep us up to date with new trends in hiring. Through her hard work and dedication, Ronnie has taken our Career Center to the next level. Ronnie. Our next volunteer award goes to Rita Kiernan. Rita is our job readiness coordinator. She has helped hundreds of women get jobs and keep their jobs. It is through Rita's leadership that this program has an incredible hire rate of over 85% in just a matter of 2 months after completing the class. Rita also volunteers with our social media campaign, Facebook, Instagram, and creates our Constant Contact newsletters. We can't thank her enough for all she does to support our women. This is a great team of volunteers, and please, let's congratulate them. Rita? These ladies come in each week and help us. Do you want to say anything? Are you saying anything? Are you going to speak? Okay. You good? Diane?
I just, with my fellow volunteers, want to thank Supervisor Romaine, all the council, and of course the Women's Services Advisory Board for all the support they give us. It's a great team of volunteers. The work we do changes women's lives, and in a way it changed my life too. We work very hard with a passion dreaming big for the clients that we serve. And we hope that you will get to know us and continue to support us in all we do as we are growing. And it's just a wonderful honor to be here tonight. Thank you all.
If you look on the program, you will see that I had closing remarks. My closing remarks are something the greatest woman in the world taught me, and that was my mother. And she said, when you're going to talk, she said, stand up so you can be seen, speak up so you can be heard, and shut up so you can be appreciated. Thank you. And there's refreshments in the back room.
Thank you again.